What up, y'all? I'm JT, Chef Tickles, the Alaskan Sniper. I'm here with your boy Chris Easy, Deuces -1, Chris Evans.
What up? What up?
We're joined here with our man, Big Daddy, the boy himself, Faraz Sani,
What it do, baby?
DB the Assassin, Sharp Knuckles.
How's it going?
And let's get into it. This is Hoop Session.
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
Ooh, man.
I'll do it.
Long time no see, boys. How you been?
Well,
Chilling.
damn, some shit went down. Some shit went down in the NBA. A lot of stuff since we talked last.
Yep. One big thing. One very, very big thing that we got to cover for sure. We
Exactly.
probably all have that in our notes somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just been chilling, cooking a lot, staying busy with that, hanging with the doggo,
Yo, JT, when are you getting your new dog?
That actually fell through. It didn't work out. So I can tell you the details tonight, but yeah, it's not going to, well, with that particular one, it's not going to work out. But
Man,
yeah, I'll tell you guys tonight, but we're not really going to kind of pursue another one. But like, it was just kind of like, it made sense and it worked out. So I was going to, but because I'm home, right? But I'm actually quite busy with cooking anyway. So
All right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Well, at least you still got one doggo.
Exactly. Still have one doggo who's great. So, yeah.
What about you, Chris? What you been up to, man?
Just chilling. Been snowboarding quite a bit.
Yeah.
Going up to the mountains. So enjoying the outdoors until we get told we're not allowed to go outdoors. So
Yeah.
This comes back to that.
Oh, bro.
Oh, man.
I can't wait for one of your rants about that, man. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
We're gonna have to do like a
Something.
live show of Chris reacting to like one of her statements.
no.
It would just be a lot of beep.
Oh man.
Fuck
You guys
Chris.
want to get into it?
Faraz, man? No. Let's get Faraz's take too, man. What's
Sorry,
going on,
sorry.
Faraz? What you been up to this week, bro?
Yo, fuck you
I
guys.
haven't seen you in so long, bro.
Yo, where are you right now? Where are you? Dude, man, it's fucking, other than my doggo and work, nothing's been up this week, man. Thank God for some
What can you
basketball.
do?
Yeah. I'm so jealous of you guys, man. You guys all got a little pupperino or a doggerino going, man.
DB, it's time to get one when you move back.
Maybe,
Yeah.
man. We were thinking, but we're trying to adopt, and it's just like it's hard to find like a it's something in like I don't want it to be like a puppy. It could be, but it's impossible to find a puppy to adopt. But also I don't want like I'm not trying to get like an 8-year-old dog just because I'm selfish and I don't want to go through that like straight up. Like just, what I mean? So
Yeah, if you're not ready for it, then it's not the best move either way.
yeah.
But there's like when I rescued Carter and he was 7 months. That's pretty young.
Yeah. It's just
pretty young.
with COVID, man. It's the borders that are the big issue,
True.
right? Because
true
we were
that,
pretty
yeah.
close to adopting that other dog from across the border, and then they just shut it down. They just wouldn't let us do it. So
Exactly.
it was,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, wasn't. Yes. Yeah.
Damn,
Let's
man.
get into some basketball, guys. Let's get into some ball.
Big
So
trade.
before we jump into the trade, obviously that's the biggest news this week, Harden getting moved to the Nets. I'm just going to do a quick rapid fire of kind of some notable stuff from the week that stood out to me. And if you guys want to get in there, get in there. But I feel like the Warriors are kind of not catching fire, but they're finding their stride. And I think they're starting to actually play some good basketball. And dare I say it, Andrew Wiggins actually playing very well for them right now. He's playing like good one-on-one defense, and I think he's really benefiting from Draymond. So the Warriors look nice. I don't know what kind of realistic expectation we can have for them, but they're looking pretty nice. Maybe they can find a piece to kind of help buff up their backcourt a little bit. But once Kelly Oubre comes into stride as well, you would assume he's going to start averaging a little bit more. He's shooting in the 20s, 3-point from 3, so that's quite brutal. Chris, you'll like this one. Boston, even though they've had 3 games postponed this week, they're still leading the East. I found quite surprising. They're playing very, very well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, JB and JT looking really good. But what I noticed was it's their bench. It's all these little random guards that I've never even really seen before. I'm like, who are these dudes? Yeah, aside from this jackass.
My boy Peyton is
Pritchard.
leading that team, man.
Pritchard. He's
Man,
leading
this
that
year's
team.
going to be like a good year for all those little guys, the guys that would never have got a chance any other year.
Exactly.
Like literally no other year would you even hear these guys'
Yeah.
names, and like it's a good time to show up for these guys. Hopefully, get a little, little bit of time, and maybe they could get a little contract after this as well.
Yeah.
But because most of these guys would be moved to like the G League, right?
Yeah.
After a year of burn in the league, not getting any time. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So, another case in point for that is Oklahoma City. They're playing very, very well. And they have just a bunch of kind of like those G League guys or like rookie guys and SGAs kind of just killing it down there. And then the last thing, obviously, that stood out for me, the shitty thing was Nurkic getting injured again. It looked like it was a hand injury. It looked like when he was swiping down on Malcolm Brogdon. How long will he be out? Don't know. But it might be an opportunity for Portland to make a trade. Cavs and not acquired another big. So maybe they could get JaVale McGee out of there. He's only on a $4 million contract. So maybe you just send some Anthony Simons over there. Try to get a big over. That helps. But yeah, that really sucks for Nurkic. So anybody want to jump on any one of those?
What if instead of McGee they go for Drummond?
Yeah, I was thinking Drummond was going to leave that after they got
that's a much better move.
Yeah,
they have 20. He makes $26 million a year, right? So I don't know who Portland could send back that wouldn't demolish their team at the same time. Obviously, you're not trading the backcourt, right?
No.
So,
but I think they have some pieces, and I think maybe Rodney Hood gets in there.
Yeah.
But just to make up to 26 million is a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously he would be unreal there. He would be absolutely unreal there.
Yeah.
Dude, he's unreal anywhere, man. I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day. I'm like, this guy's just a walking 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2020 is not like it's just normal for him.
Yeah.
He's not like, and it doesn't make any sense. He doesn't seem that athletic. He's just like, there's nothing really like to him. But he just kind of tries harder, and he's got like that old school like man body.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a big man.
Like the 70s with that little like back hair and shit.
Got the shoulder.
Dude, he pulls it off though, man. Like he just gets 2020s like it's nothing. Like Kevin Love used to do in Minnesota.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That kind of 2020.
Well, he just dropped 33 and 23 last night.
Disgusting.
Well, there you go.
Just absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Good stuff. So do you guys want to jump into the Harden trade then?
Oof. I think we should just do it because honestly, we're gonna end up spending so much more time on this than we expect.
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Man. So go ahead, DB. Where were you when you found out, man?
Where was I? I was just about to go out for lunch break at work, and one of my coworkers actually told me about it. Sharon's cousin, she told me about it randomly. She comes up to me and says, "Did you hear about the trade?" I'm like, no trade happened. The boys would have said
Shut up,
yeah. Like, there's no way. She's like, no, seriously, Harden got traded. I'm like, did you just hear it or did Woj say it? That was like my first question. But then, I checked my phone and you guys were already talking about it. So you guys were ahead of me on the group for sure. But yeah, man, when I heard about it, I just thought, like, I knew it was going to happen. The way it was just shaping out, it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. It's just, I don't think people understand how big it is. I think it's kind of getting, I think it's like, yeah, he's good, but will he fit in? Like Faraz was saying, we were talking about this earlier. He's like, I don't understand why people aren't like thinking this is like a massive, like everyone thinks it's massive, but people don't understand how good that team is now. Like
I think people should be scared. Like, I think not enough people are actually like have fear in them. But like, I feel like if legit, I feel like if Kevin Durant wasn't coming off an injury, without Harden in that mix, that team would be instilling fear just because of KD alone. And then now you add James Harden, and it's like, like Denier said, like, screw, like, is he gonna fit in? It's like two years ago or three. How long ago was he the MVP? This guy shows up, they say he's out of shape. I make fun of him too, and then he puts up a 40-point triple-double.
Anytime he wants. Anytime he wants. And that's the thing. Like, you can have two of those three guys on the courts at all times, right? Like,
so it's like even without Kyrie Kyrie can sit the season, like legit. If Kyrie sits the season, I think like this is like still early, but I think like they're going to the finals. Like very good chance, like they're going to the finals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think any team that has KD, in my opinion, has a good chance of making the finals any year. And then you add James Harden.
Top 5 player, yeah.
It's mind-boggling how good that team is actually right now, and it really, really drives me crazy because I think back to the OKC days where all those guys were together, and if they could have just somehow made it work for like 1 or 2 more years, how good that team would have been.
Exactly.
Right.
Because that's the thing. That team, that OKC team had nice pieces as well, right? They had Kevin Martin, Ibaka, Perkins, Cephalosha, those random dudes. But Brooklyn,
they had those guys, but Durant was a shell of what he is right now.
Yeah.
Harden Harden was like 1/10th of the player he is right now, just straight up. Harden learned how to become that ISO threat in Houston, where he just became that dude, I figured it out. I have this one move that no one's ever going to be able to stop, and I'll just do it every single time.
Well, exactly.
Like he just figured it out.
DB, do you think these 3 players would be the same level they were at if they all stayed at OKC for the last 6-7 years?
No.
But do you think they would have won in OKC as well? They would have won all together, but they wouldn't be the MVPs each.
No, they all have the potential to be like they'd still be all stars like every single year, all NBA type players, right? But they wouldn't be like what they are now because you need that burn, right? You need to be that guy in order to develop, right? And that's why I'm talking about like even these young guys right now, they need that time. They need to be able to be on the court and feel the ball and do all that stuff, right? To be better, right? So when you're a star and you get to be the guy when you're so young, like Harden when he moved to Houston, how old was he even? Like he was still
pretty young,
right? He's
like
still
23.
Yeah, and he got to be the guy where they build around you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So exactly. I think right now, just to touch on your point, Faraz, like how you were saying, like not enough people are afraid of them. I think their one downside maybe is just like their bench. I think they have 3 open roster spots now because of that trade. So they're gonna have to pick some guys up, maybe like after the buyout market, or I don't know. Isaiah Thomas is talking about coming out of retirement and getting another contract, but they're pretty shallow, especially in the bigs, right? They have DeAndre Jordan, who will give you maybe 25 good minutes a night. So you need another big. They're potentially going to start Jeff Green at center. Which could be a problem when you're going against Philly or whoever, right? So I think they'll need to buff out their bench a little bit, but realistically, it doesn't matter when you have those guys on your team, right? It's just to go deep into a playoff series against potentially like a Milwaukee. But I just thought of a good question for us. Who do you think should be the most scared of this team?
Who do you think should be most scared of Brooklyn?
Of Brooklyn, yeah.
Boston. I think Boston. Legit. I don't know because Chris, you'll take this as a compliment because currently I think I see Boston as almost a bigger threat than Milwaukee because I feel like Boston might perform better in the playoffs. Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah, 100%.
I think Boston matches up better than Milwaukee will.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like obviously Giannis is a problem, but like
you
can guard Giannis.
You can take care. I think Bam showed us that you can kind of take care of Giannis.
Dude, Jeff Green could put a body on Giannis, man.
Yeah. He put a body on, legit.
He could though. He could. Like, Giannis
just bother him.
Giannis doesn't need much now, man. Like
you can put
jump shot developed.
Yeah. Put DJ on it.
Yeah, you don't really need to.
You literally,
yeah. But I think, I don't know. I feel like Boston needs to be a little scared. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think Boston might make one more move before the deadline just because of this trade. I have a feeling
I think they'll have to.
they need to beef up a tiny bit. Yeah,
They need to get big.
Beef up. Yeah.
Something.
So Cleveland might be the sellers here at the deadline.
I think Drummond's leaving.
They have to. They're getting rid of Drummond. I think that's what they're doing.
Dude, Celtics have that like $23 million trade exemption or something like that as well with Gordon Hayward leaving. So I think Drummond could potentially be going to the Celtics. That'd be a nice piece for literally nothing. Well, like you have that trade exemption, right? I don't know who they give up, but
well, that's just money wise. That just takes care of the financial stuff. But you still have to make Cleveland say yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you have to give up your rookie of the year there behind you.
Maybe for a championship.
Easy for a championship.
Yo, where's Kevin?
Championship?
What's up with Kevin Love?
Right?
He's just chilling.
He's not playing.
Is he not playing still? Like, what's going on?
Last time I saw the Cavs play, which is rare to say, he wasn't playing.
Fuck. He's another fucking thing big that Cleveland can sell right there. Yeah.
Exactly. And then they still have
all bigs. All they have.
I think, like moving forward, they obviously want to keep Jared Allen, right? With their backcourt, and then move off of Kevin Love and Drummond and McGee's. I think who cares? Keep him around if you can move him. But like he's only there for a year. Right?
Yeah,
he's a body.
He's a good.
Yeah,
he's a good body.
He's gone anyways. So he's a good vet presence. I feel like he's actually like he could be good as like your third big man on a championship team now. He's proven that, right? He's won 3 chips. So from going to Shaq and a full MVP to that.
Did 3 chips?
Yeah.
See, okay,
all golden.
That's going to be.
Is it all Golden State?
Lakers won.
Last year.
Lakers won. Oh yeah, sorry. Last year Lakers and then 2 Golden State.
Yeah. Back with them. Yeah.
No, not as big of a boss as Patrick McCall, man.
Oh man.
I was thinking about that when we were talking about Tony P documentary, and DB, you're like, you get used to that winning when you're so young. I'm like, what about this fucking guy? He's 3 for 3, man.
Yeah, but Tony P actually played.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
he had a definitely.
Yeah. So let's talk about this from Houston's side now. What do you guys think about Houston's side? DB, you want to go?
Go DB.
I like Houston's team, man.
Yeah.
I like Houston. I think they're so cool now. Like, I mean, that's I felt like both Boogie and Wall just felt so disrespected this whole year. Like, the way Harden kind of went about things rubbed them the wrong way, which they deserve to feel that way. And I think both of them kind of have something to prove. They've played together before. They're actually buddies, right? I think that seems pretty good, man. And that other dude on their team, Wood.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? Is he the great
player?
Well, they have like a legit playoff 5 now.
Yo, their starting 5 is nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, they have a legit playoff 5.
Oh man.
Yeah.
John Wall. It's just dudes coming off injuries. Yeah. That's the only thing. It's like if these guys if it weren't coming off injuries, it'd be fucked.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, and they have like Eric Gordon that they could bring off the bench if they start PJ Tucker.
Exactly.
Like they have pieces. They're actually a good team.
Dude, and Houston's set for like the next 6 years with 8 draft picks.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
Dude, they pulled a Danny Ainge, man. They pulled a Boston.
Crazy.
Well, who was that? That was Daryl Morey, right?
No, Daryl Morey's in Philly right now.
Yeah.
Now he is, right? But he traded.
Now,
he traded for all those picks and stuff, right? So that's interesting. Usually the guy leaving doesn't set them up like that.
Yeah.
For some of them, for sure.
Yeah.
Who do you think won? Who do you think won this trade?
I think I genuinely think every team won this trade.
Yeah.
Pacers won with Karras too.
Yeah, everyone
Pacers won too.
I think like every single team actually won this trade in a weird way, and that almost never happens.
Yeah.
Almost every single time you look at a trade, you're like, that guy got screwed. Like you just know, right?
Like the Cavs, like the Cavs won by getting Jared Allen and Taurean Prince for nothing, really.
Yeah.
The Nets won because they got James Harden. The Pacers won because they got LeVert, who could potentially be the best player on that team. And the Rockets won because they got Vic and 8 pieces.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Everyone got what they needed.
Exactly.
Based on the circumstances, everyone got what they needed, which is crazy.
So who can we say if there's anybody that was a loser from this trade?
I mean,
Is
overall, you got
Philadelphia?
I think Karras is the biggest loser because he just lost his championship for the most part, or championship potential.
Yeah.
Torian Prince too, man.
Torian Prince and Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
I would say
Jared Allen.
Allen lost. Yeah. He went from the top 1-2 seed to the worst team in the league pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, they're playing well.
Do you think Vic won a little bit out of that trade?
Yeah, of course, right? He gets a new situation, and you have that dominant star point guard already. It's not like, Vic's going to come in and change the franchise. It's like, dude, you're the third piece now. You're the fourth piece. Like, they're nice. They're actually really nice.
They're going to be they're actually going to be pretty good. Like, they're going to be a good team. Pretty quick.
They definitely are.
Boogie just got to stop getting ejected.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Fucking guy.
But, like,
I have him in fantasy too.
Yeah, if you guys actually think about it, though, if we have to put a actual loser on this trade, like as a team, it's still got to be the Rockets. If you actually think about it, in terms of what you got 4 picks and Victor Oladipo, right? Essentially, right. 4 picks, Victor Oladipo for James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden is still by far better than those, but because of what happened, with him and not, him sitting out, not fitting in with the team, all that other stuff, you still won the trade based on you have to get rid of him anyways, so you won the trade, right? Otherwise, you can still say Houston lost because he's like a top 3, 4, 5 player in the league. It's always hard to lose.
Well, and I think ultimately they probably saved some money as well. I don't know the exact numbers, but Oladipo definitely makes less than Harden, so maybe that makes a potential for the ability to go get another piece as well. Who knows? Like they're still, I think, a playoff team, but who knows what they can do, right?
Yeah.
It's all about staying healthy in this bubble and stuff.
Yo, what's the pick swap situation? Is it they just get a pick? They take one of the Nets picks regardless of where it is, or is it like protected?
Yeah. So
how does that work?
If their pick that year is worse than the Nets, so if it's higher, so if they get the 22nd pick and the Nets get the 10th pick, they swap picks.
Oh, so basically, like the Nets don't really lose much.
But
the Nets don't really lose much in the next 3 years, probably, hey? Because they're going to be top seed in the league.
Exactly. Yeah. They won't be swapped anyway. So
Exactly. Yeah, good
they don't
point.
really lose anything there.
Okay, that makes sense.
But, why don't we look at it this way too? Yeah, go ahead, JT.
I was just going to say quickly, they don't have the ability to now trade those pieces, those picks, and get something else to like buff up their bench a little bit. But
okay.
Anyways, go ahead, DB.
Yeah, that makes sense actually, JT. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Let's look at it at a different kind of perspective as well, not just like who won or who lost or whatever, but like, what do you guys think about trades like this just happening in general? Like the superstars having so much power now, right? Like I think I'm all for the player being able to do what he wants to do, because at the end of the day, I think I should be able to, quit my job anytime I want and go to any other position if they offer me a better role, right? If they offer me more money, and they should be able to do the same thing. I don't think they owe that team anything, right?
But DB, you have to honor a contract. Like if you sign a contract, if you're on it last year, yes, obviously you're cool to say I want to go somewhere else. But if you sign a contract for 4 or 5 years, you should be able to honor it.
Yes. So I'm just trying to I'm looking at it as both ways, right? You know me, I'm all against the whole joining up teams and making I'm not a big fan of that stuff in the first place, right? So it's not like I'm for this. I'm just trying to look at it from the other side, right?
Yeah.
For the longest time, the players had literally no power, right? The team got to trade you and cut you whenever they wanted. They didn't have to tell you anything. You learned from a text. You know what I mean? Oh, your family has to move now. See ya. Right?
Sorry, quickly, DB. They also invented the no trade, they took away no trade clause as well. They took the power away from the players.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right. So there's so much there. So you got to think about it from the other way too, right? It is a business, and if I feel like, even if I sign a contract with my job for 2 years, like I'm going to do this role for 2 years, if I feel like I'm not getting the best out of this, if I want to make more for my family, I should put my family first over this random company that I'm working for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if I want to put my mental health first and I'm not having a good time there and I honestly feel bad, I should be able to leave. Right? I think about it, how much more power the players have. It's a great thing. I don't know. I still don't like the whole making these super teams and sitting out and not, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of that at all. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I
on that point,
phrase
DP,
it really. Yeah.
On that point though, like you said, how James Harden got what he wanted essentially, right? He got his wish to go to Brooklyn.
Exactly what he wanted.
But with him having that power, he displaced Jared Allen, he displaced Karras, he displaced Vic. They all out of nowhere, like we didn't think Karras was going to leave. Out of nowhere, Karras, you're going to Indiana, just on a dime. You're out. So like his choice affects 6 people, which and it affects their family and affects their money. So it's like, why are we putting the focus on one player when all these other players are also getting like not necessarily screwed over, but getting like, oh, you're fired from our team, like go to this team now, So that's it's sort of hard to tell which side is better.
That's exactly why I'm struggling too, man, because you're right. Like I personally wouldn't be able to do that. What James Harden is doing, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to just like slyly just like do random shit on purpose to try to piss off my employers so they could fire me so I can go. I would. That's not in me to be able to do. So I understand. And he's screwing a lot of other people over, right? Like he really is. And he was really disrespectful to a lot of his own teammates.
Yeah.
Right. So I personally couldn't do that. But I'm just saying the fact that like players now get a voice, get some kind of like, dude, like I don't want to be here. Like you can't, you know what I mean? Like I don't need to be here. Just because you signed me to a contract for my first like 5 years doesn't mean I owe everything to you and I can't move on after my contract's over. Right.
Yeah.
But James Harden didn't do that. He just wants to up and leave mid-contract and in a different way, right? So
the grass is always greener on the other side, but not always.
With KD, yes. If KD's on the other side of the fence, I'm going.
Right?
Chris, let me put it to you this way, Chris. Like, let's say you signed a couple-year contract with some sort of media agency, and they're like, okay, like you're like, my goal is to get on whatever ESPN in the next couple of years, and they're like, we can 100% make that happen, blah blah blah. And then that doesn't happen in the first couple of years, but you're still under contract for a few years. You're like, my goal is to do this, so I'm going to go somewhere where I can actually do that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? That's like that's like winning a championship, right? Like there was no secret that was their goal. They did not get past the Warriors almost, and then they got fucking rocked by the Lakers. What's the point of going and getting that happen again, right?
Yeah.
And in terms of like it affecting,
go ahead.
In terms of it affecting all these other guys in the league, 100%. Like it sucks, and like these people's kids and wives and blah blah blah. But it's it's the elite level, is the highest level. If you're not down for that kind of lifestyle, sorry, don't play in the league, man. Go play in G League, do something else, right? Like realistically, I think that's the reality, because it's not about making everybody happy at that level. It's about like who are the best fucking hoopers, and that's the only thing that matters. Again, DB, I personally wouldn't be able to do that, but I think Harden could have made it worse. He could have just completely sat out. He was still playing. He just wasn't trying. He was still getting like 13 points and 12 assists and letting John Wall do it, and he was just standing in the corner. But at least he was playing. And how quickly we forget about Anthony Davis. He did the exact same fucking thing 2 years ago, wins a championship, and we all forget. Right?
Yeah.
No one forgets about that. Like we know that it happened, and like we're always going to think about that, right? We thought about it when Kevin Durant did it. I still think about it when LeBron James did it. The Boston Tea Party of the old days. All those guys, right? It's sorry, Chris. But like when you make a move like that, it's not gonna tarnish your record, but in the old school kind of like mindset, like that I still have somehow, which is really weird. I still think those championships don't mean as much. It's still LeBron's championship to me, rather than Anthony Davis's championship. If he would have won it in New Orleans, it would have been his championship.
True. Good point.
he made it.
But I think that's a
I
bit
mean?
different
So-
circumstance. KD and Braun compared to AD and Harden, those two guys got traded. KD and Braun were free agents. They can go wherever the fuck they want. LeBron technically was a sign-in trade with Cleveland to Miami, and then when he came back was free agent. And when he went to Lakers, he was a free agent. So you can do whatever the fuck you want, but forcing the trade, I think, is a different story, right? Like what AD and Harden and there's a bunch of other guys who have done it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
DB, do you
Cleveland
think
definitely
that
won.
the value? Sorry, just to that last point. Do you think the value of that championship goes down when the players demand the trade, or when the organization builds that team? You know what I mean? Like if they build a super team, does that, like, without James Harden, like you can't, the Nets aren't built as a team. They're players talking to each other, wanting to link up and play together. But if an organization builds a team with these superstars, does that validate this championship a bit more? Because it wasn't, I want to go to this team to play with this player to win a championship on this team.
Yeah, man. To me, I gotta be 100% honest. The way I think about this is just stupid. Like I'm like, my mindset is just flawed on the whole idea of it. Like it just is, right? Like I don't like teams that have multiple superstars that win a championship, right? Where they need like five of like four of the top, or three of the top, like 20 players, 15 players on one team. Doesn't make sense to me. It's like, it's too much. It becomes unfair. But at the same time, isn't that the whole point of the game, to have the best players on your team so you could win the most basketball games?
Exactly.
Like, so like my argument is like completely nullified by my own argument. You got to win basketball games. So you need the best players, right?
And
so
it's also like
the franchise isn't wrong for going and getting all-stars. The players aren't wrong for going and playing with great players, right? It's just that old school mentality that still stays, that like you get drafted to a team, and for whatever reason, you owe that team everything because they drafted you, and you got to put in all that work, and you got to bring that franchise to championship. Well, no, they drafted you to get use out of you. They wanted, you're going to make them money. They didn't draft you to do you a favor, right? Yeah. So it's a flawed mindset, right?
Yeah.
I just think
the way they go about it, though, that's what makes it annoying, is like when the players are publicly saying, I want to leave, I want to go play with this guy, I want to go with this team or this team only. Like that's when the views get skewed a bit, and you're like, fuck, I don't like this. Like this isn't fun. Like watch it, like a player say, I want to go to this team specifically to play with this guy to win a championship because I can win a championship with all these superstars. Like do it in the background and don't actually like be so open about it, you know?
Like you never know what's happening, the WWE mindset. Like you want to be like left in the dark, you know what I mean? Like you want to pretend that it's all real, but
exactly
it isn't, right? Like yeah.
Chris, back to your original question for the diminishing, like for whether it's like a home built super team. So like Golden State's first championship without KD, would you consider them a super team?
Yes.
Okay, and that was homegrown, right?
Yeah, like they all drafted, right? Yeah, Draymond. Yeah, they're all drafted from.
They were all drafted.
Yeah,
all brought in. Other than Iggy, like some other pieces they were brought in.
Yeah.
Get Harrison Barnes.
So I guess out of the three that they've won, that one means obviously the most, right? Probably.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Their first one. Yeah.
So I'm trying to compare it. So what about the last championship Boston won?
I think that was different just because there wasn't players saying, I want to go play with this player to like publicly, and I want to leave because I want to win a championship with this player.
But they could have easily done that behind the scenes back then.
Exactly. I'm saying that's why behind the scenes it's okay, because it's not like you're shaming the organization by saying I want out of Houston to go to the Nets, or not playing hard or anything like that.
Well, back then, KG did say he wanted to go to Boston. I'm pretty sure.
KG wanted out of Minnesota.
He wanted out of Minnesota, but he never said specifically, I want to go play with Paul Pierce and like publicly to play with Pierce to win a championship.
But I feel like it was publicly widely known that like.
Yeah, and you got to understand that back then, like it wasn't like people had social media and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
All the time.
Yeah. Different world.
Right? There was less coverage of it, right? So you wouldn't have a camera in your face all the time, be like, "Yo, what do you think about Paul Pierce?" And he's like,
"Dude, remember
team up with that dude." You know what I mean? Like,
remember when Shaq went to? Right? Remember when Shaq went to Miami? Remember when Shaq left Lakers? But no, but remember when Shaq left the Lakers to go to Miami? Like, you found that out if you watched the news at night, like watch SportsCenter at night. Oh shit, Shaq went to Miami. What? That's crazy.
It wasn't like it was all over your phone all the time. Like,
exactly.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But the original question that you were saying that, whether it diminishes it, they were one of the original, the trios, like the three dudes that decided to like form a super team. So where do you rank the value of those two championships then?
I put the Warriors home built team higher than the Celtics everybody brought together.
Yeah. Okay.
I put that. Yeah.
That makes sense. I was just curious because the Celtics
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
You could see Justin, Faraz, and I all just holding our breath. Like,
I was just waiting.
Guys, we're like sharks in the water waiting for me to say something.
No, I agree with you though. No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. But just DB, to your point about like building the superstars and stuff, I think those guys genuinely are buddies, right? Like, and you said it's the same thing as like pickup ball. If you go play pickup ball, obviously I want the best players on my team. Yeah, you want to make the games fair and you want to make them fun. But if I go to open gym with you three guys and we just happen to be the best four people there, I'm still going to want to play with you. You're my friend, right? It's almost like it's not Harden's fault that he's like a top 5 player and he's buddies with KD. Like,
I agree. I'm 100% with you, man. It makes sense. It's just, it just still, for some reason in my mind, it just still somehow diminishes it, right? And one more.
You just didn't go about it the best way.
Yes. And one more really quick thing to add. I was listening to Shaq, and he was talking about this trade as well. And what he was saying is like, great, you could do whatever you want. You wanted to get traded, you got to get traded, but you can't say that you gave Houston your all because you really didn't. You didn't stick it out. You asked for Dwight Howard, you got Dwight Howard. You asked for Chris Paul, you got Chris Paul. You asked for Russell Westbrook, you got Russell Westbrook. You asked for shooters, you got shooters. Whatever you asked for, they tried to accommodate, right? So it just didn't work out, and that's fine. You want to move on, you want to win a championship somewhere else. That's that. But don't say like, I stuck it out, you guys screwed me over. That didn't happen with you. It just didn't.
True. He got D'Antoni fired as well, right? All right, Faraz, so take us through your top 5 takeaways from this week.
All right. Well, the first one, guys, I'm going to start it off. It's with a play, man. I don't know if you guys saw that James Wiseman dunk on Bull. Oh, that was nice, man. I'm starting to come around on the kid a little bit. DB at the beginning of the year was telling me to kind of look out for him. And he was, I will give credit where it's due. And, people were telling me that he is looking nice. My outlandish, I'm going to give you guys a little outlandish take on him. I'm going to say in the next 3 years, he makes an all-star team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you guys agree or disagree?
I don't think so.
Disagree.
Easy one?
Not an easy one for me.
Not easy, but
knowing the talent around, I don't think he'll make it.
I think that he might be like, I think he will get an all-star nod at some point. I think he will.
Yeah.
But not in the next 3 years.
Maybe like 4. I don't know how long it'll take for him to develop, but from what I've been hearing Draymond talk about him as well, Draymond doesn't really talk about rookies that in that high of a regard usually. And he just thinks this guy's like something really special. His work ethic is great. He says that he listens well and he could implement things that he hears and into the game pretty well for a rookie. So I think he's going to be pretty good, especially in that kind of system where he doesn't have to have any real pressure on him, really.
Yeah.
Nothing's really expected of him, right? Like if he just doesn't fuck up and lose track of his man on defense or do something stupid like that, he's fine. Just run up and down the court, be a big body, grab those rebounds, set screens, just do the regular stuff, and the game will come to you. So, I think he's going to be pretty good for us. I don't know.
Do you think all-star in 3 years or no?
I'm still going to say no. It's just the West is so hard. It's just
fair enough.
I still say no. I still say no.
Yeah. Okay. On to the next one, boys. Fuck. Random, but we were talking earlier about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and how well he's playing. They played Chicago yesterday, OT game. He dropped a career high 33. It's obviously not like a crazy amount, but he's a young player, man. Still nice.
Second year, third year.
Yeah. Second or third year. Third year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's averaging so far 21, 5, and 6 for the season. Like not bad.
Not bad.
If you want to compare him to some other notable players that average that kind of number, like first off, Jimmy comes to mind. Jimmy was always a 25 and 5 player. Yeah. Obviously, kind of what they bring to the game is different. But I mean, SGA is kind of he's showing some nice things, man. So my kind of take on him for you guys is SGA becomes an all-star this year. And more outlandish, if he continues this, OKC makes the playoffs.
Whoa.
What do you guys think?
I think it's more likely that they make the playoffs than he makes an all-star team, unfortunately. I think he's probably like at the tops for like most improved. But this year, I feel like it's CJ's year to get one. And then there's
Zach
so many
as well.
There's just too many players.
Yeah, but he's in the East. He's in the East.
Oh,
right?
that's
so,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's, but there's so many guards, right? Yeah. I don't know. He
Westbrook moved out.
Might have to
gives him a little room.
Yeah,
it's true. Westbrook moved out. John Wall moved in.
Harden moved out.
Depot moved in. Yeah, Wall and Depot moved in.
But Depot's not an all-star.
But Depot right now, yeah, you can't consider him because SGA's numbers are just way nicer. Like,
well, it's true, but at the end of the season, right? I'm just saying these are guys that could potentially take it away from him. I don't know.
Yeah.
If we lay it all out there, he might be. But I think it might be 1 year still too early for him. But I'm really impressed by his composure, and that's probably something from Chris Paul like that he got, just how he's controlling those games, and it's him, Horford, and like just a bunch of nobodies. Like you see that super like skinny Eastern European kid that they have. He's like 6'10", 185 pounds.
Dude, he's ridiculous. Yeah. He looks like Bambi out there, man.
Yeah. So Faraz, I would say not this year. But I could see them being in the play-in tournament and potentially winning a playoff berth from that. So I wouldn't be too surprised from that, but I'd be surprised if he was an all-star this year.
Yeah. Okay. Boys.
Yeah.
I don't think they make the playoffs, and I don't think he also becomes an all-star. I really like him, but I don't think either one of those things are going to happen this year. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be really close to the playoff spot, and for him maybe even getting a nod in the all-star game. But I don't think either one of them are going to be this year. I think he will get an all-star next year, though, or maybe the year after. I really like him, too. And I really don't usually, like I said, for whatever reason, I hate on Canadian players, but I said I like this guy. I think I said this in like one of like the earlier podcasts. But he just plays differently. He just, like you said, he picked up something from Chris Paul, clearly, where he could like kind of lead at such a young age. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty similar. I think they have more of a chance to make playoffs than him getting an all-star nod, but I do think he's up there in the most improved category for sure.
Yeah.
In the running for that award.
Yeah, that's
no
why
all-star, but most improved, yeah.
That's definitely why it'd be like an outlandish take, yeah. Because the numbers are nice, but I'm with you more on your guys' side too. I see the potential. Yeah. Okay, right after. I mean, Drummond just dropped in a 33-23. Cavs are 6 and 7. They're almost 500. Wow. Nice. It's not bad. We all are under the consensus that he's probably going to leave, or that they're probably going to move him. But who knows? He might stay. He's still putting up monster numbers. My take is, does Drummond make a all NBA team if he continues to put up numbers, even if he's on the Cavs? I mean, if a guy averages 20 and 16 or 20 and 18 in a season, does he not even deserve a third All-NBA team nod?
So All-NBA is just a little bit weird because the fact that they do forward and center, where All-Star is just front court, back court. So that there's only 3 centers, right? So you just got to think about like Jokic and Embiid, right? Those two. So he's probably bumping out Gobert. Which, I could see as realistic. I would say at this rate, he's like quite a favorite to take All NBA, third team.
Yeah.
Is that who it was last year, JT? Or those are 3 centers?
I'm not sure, but I think so. But I'm just trying to think
Okay.
like who's a better center that's out there.
Anthony Davis is listed as a power forward.
I think he's a
Or
forward.
a
Yeah.
center.
It's because it's where they track where you play most of your minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not much really left.
Yeah, there's not. So Gobert, could realistically he could bump that out.
Hopefully, just Gobert doesn't go. No more Gobert, man. No more Gobert.
Yeah, just
No more.
No more tires. I can't believe how much that guy got paid. God. Unbelievable.
11 points per game or something like that he's averaging.
It just doesn't make any. Dude, he scammed them, man. I'm serious.
He pulled a white
He
side.
helped. Dude, he held the GM or the owner's daughter for ransom. Got his friend Goons to come in. Something happened, man. There's no way this guy deserves that kind of contract. Should seriously investigate. I'm not even joking, man.
5 years too. 5 years.
Yo, boys.
Yo.
really quickly though, Anthony Davis is listed as center in the All NBA.
Oh, he is.
Okay. Yeah. So then
So last
Tough.
year,
He'd have to bump out.
So last year, Anthony
Indeed.
Davis, the 2019-2020 season, Anthony Davis was the first team center. Jokic was the second team, and Gobert was the third team.
Okay.
Oh, was Embiid listed as a forward then?
Embiid didn't
No,
even,
just-
Embiid didn't
Oh, he
even
didn't
make
make
it.
it?
Play well. As well. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. There you go. So he'd have to bump out Gobert or Embiid. You'd assume Embiid with how he's playing right now.
Yeah.
He'll be in there.
Embiid's up for MVP too. Yeah.
Mhm.
The way-
Yeah.
You think Jokic is the leading candidate right now for MVP?
LeBron.
Yeah.
It's so
LeBron every time. No matter what, it's always LeBron.
It's LeBron.
It's fucked, but it's true. It's fucked, but it's actually true. He's leading the votes right now, I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
Well, fuck, if Instagram is telling the truth. But they were talking about, I was watching, did you guys watch the New Orleans Lakers game last night? I was watching that, and it was Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, and they said that exact same thing, because the commentator asked Mark Jackson, okay, you're somebody who retired at 39 years old. LeBron is 36. And they're talking about his projection to beat Kareem for all-time scorer, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what is it like at that, kind of winding your career down, blah, blah, blah. He's like, are you seriously trying to compare me to LeBron? He's like, I retired at 39, and I was barely moving up and down the court. I was pretty much a coach. He's like, this guy's still the leading MVP vote getter.
Oh yeah, I heard that last night too.
Yeah. So,
I love Mark
that was
Jackson,
pretty
man.
funny. Yeah.
That guy's such a boss.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson is actually the best, man. Love that
He
guy.
is a boss, man. Yo, but Chris and DB, do you guys think Drummond makes All NBA?
As much as I want him to, I don't think he will.
I'm with
Yeah.
you.
Same.
Yeah, I want him to, and I think his numbers will be good enough to make it. But for whatever reason, I don't. How do they do the All NBA? How do they?
It's
It's a
voting.
It's a panel of media members and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Same as
Yeah, so
MVP
probably
and all
not.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so then if it's based on that, then probably not, because he's just
Nobody's watching
yeah.
Cleveland games.
no one's ever watching him. He's not gonna have any big
Mhm.
games.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're not gonna go anywhere really. So
Yeah.
probably
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfair to him, but
Yeah.
probably not. Even if he averages 20 and 18, he probably
Okay.
still won't get it, which is pretty unfair.
All right. Next one. Pelicans. Right now they're 4-7. They're on a 5-game losing streak. I'm going to give them some credit. 2 of those games one was against the Lakers, one against the Clippers. So it's fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't blame you too much there. But then they've also lost to the Hornets, Thunder, and the Pacers. So right now, like I said, that's kind of an outlandish take. I mean, is it too early to start worrying? And then my take is, can they miss the playoffs? Is New Orleans just going to be out early, or no? Can you guys see this spiraling out of control?
Yes.
Yeah. Young team, man.
I think
Young team.
easily. Yeah, it's a young team, and injuries and stuff play a big role as well, right? I don't know how many games Allen's been out, but he's been out for at least the last couple games.
No, Zion's been playing.
No, I'm pretty sure Zion's out at this point. There's something going on.
Zion played last night.
Yeah,
Played
he
last
did.
night, yeah. But Lonzo's injured.
Zion had 20. Zion had 21 and 12 last night.
Yeah.
But you're right. He missed 2 games. One was postponed, and one was in a loss. Yeah.
Hmm.
And one was what? Just.
And one they lost, but he just sat out.
Okay. Yeah. I know he missed 2 in a row, but I thought it was the last 2, so he came back. Okay.
He came back last night.
But
he's been playing nice, man. When he plays, he's been playing good. Apart from, I don't think they have any other injuries. Brandon Ingram's still playing. Lonzo, Josh Hart. The core, the team is there. Mm-hmm. So what is it? Are they not buying into the system, or is it that they're just too young and they need time?
You think it could be as
the West?
Do you think it could be one of those things where it's like new coach, young team, they're just trying to get accustomed to it? Whereas it could go 2 ways. It can go new coach, young team doesn't adapt to new coach, and then they spiral out of control. Yeah. Or it can go new coach, young team, growing pains at the start, and then they start clicking halfway through the season, which fingers crossed they do, because I'd like to see New Orleans be up in there in the playoffs, but who knows what it's going to be.
All right, my take is they spiral and New Orleans misses the playoffs. So what do you guys? Do you guys disagree?
I think it'll take some time for them to adapt to not even just to a new coach, just playing together. They're all still young, just playing a full season together, just in general, right, with no injuries and everything like that, and just a new coach, obviously as well. But they'll lose the first little bit, like even if they pick it up halfway through the season and they start playing unreal, they'll still probably miss the playoffs, right? So missing the playoffs is not really out of the question for them. I think they're going to miss the playoffs, but doesn't mean it's going to be a bad season for them either, right? Like they could start saving face essentially near the midpoint of the season and just move it forward, right? And carry that momentum into next year.
Yeah, I think like all that stuff considered, right? They're definitely missing Drew Holiday. It's been 10 games, a little over 10 games. So you're taking that leader out of your system, and you're pretty much putting Ingram into that role, I guess. You brought 2 new point guards. Yeah, you brought 2 new point guards in, who are, that's, as we all know, one of the toughest positions, who have to know how to kind of get into the system, and a brand new coach. And your starting center is new as well. So all that stuff considered, like Zion's still trying to figure out his body. Kid's like 20 years old. I think eventually, like in this season, they'll kind of turn around. I saw 2 plays yesterday where Redick, the ball got past him and it literally went right through his legs out of bounds. Like that's not going to happen very often. Like, that shouldn't happen a lot. It's usually going to be a catch and shoot 3. But what I noticed last night watching was Ingram, man. Guy was just so not decisive, but just so aggressive. And he's just like, these are my shots. All the plays were built around him. And he had a good game, but like you said, it's against the Lakers. So all those teams that you listed that they lost to, I think are decent. We already went over OKC. Indiana obviously is always one of those teams that's decent. If they miss the playoffs or not, I think it would be a very bad season if they miss the playoffs. Because if they make the play-in tournament, you would assume the Zion factor gets them 2 games. And then they're in the playoffs. But I think it would be a bad season if they miss the playoffs for sure. Because Ingram's going to be an all-star and Zion may as well be also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're underperforming for me right now. So, yeah, Chris?
Yeah.
I'm just worried. Yeah, I really want them to make the playoffs. It makes sense for them to make even the play-in game, like play-in tournament kind of thing. But yeah, like you said, it's a young team. You don't know you can't really put a finger on, are they going to spiral or are they going to click? Because it's just too early in the season, too inexperienced of watching them, I think.
It is too early to worry, then you're saying.
Yeah. For them especially, because it can either go, like I said, both ways, right? Like you don't know which way it's going to go.
Guys, so you guys all think that it's like a bust if they miss the playoffs, right?
Miss the play-in tournament, I'd say. It's a bust.
Yeah, they miss the play-in tournament.
If they miss even a chance to go for the playoffs,
they're 11 through 15.
Because look at this, like right now, look at this freaking, look at the West. The Lakers obviously are going to be ahead of them. Clippers are going to be ahead of them. Jazz should be better than them, right?
Yeah.
Suns, we all agree should be better than them. Suns, no or yes? Yes?
Should be. Yeah.
Suns should be, but
Yes.
that one's closer, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's not even count them. Let's just keep it at 3.
Yeah.
Blazers, yes.
Yes,
Blazers.
I think they should be. Yeah.
With the
Okay.
injuries, you never know, right?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, but
With no
if we play
center,
it like
right?
that, then yeah.
No, but
if we
like
just keep
today,
playing
they
it
have
like-
no center.
But even still, I think they're still a favorite to make it, like, because you're gonna pick someone up. It's not like
Yeah.
the GM's just gonna die and they're not gonna, they're not gonna make any moves for the rest of the year. They're gonna figure something
Yeah.
out, right?
Of course. But
And
they're. I get what you're saying.
That's
There's definitely these teams that should be ahead of them, but they could also beat.
yes, but you're saying that it's
Like-
a bust, right? So to me, so what I'm saying is like it's not a bust. Like the 10 teams that should be ahead of you, like
If
there's
they
10 teams that
win
literally-
most of their games against Utah, that's very possible. Son, yeah.
Yeah, but what I was saying is like there's so many teams in the West that are like actually
Mhm.
right there that,
Mhm.
that I don't think they should like think of it as like a total bust because they still have a new coach, like I said, and they're all
Mhm.
still so young. So if they think of this year as a bust,
Yeah.
if they miss that, then what's next year for them, right? Like, do they have to like trade everyone and try to get a new coach because it was a bust this year? No, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I mean, right? There's so many
Yeah.
good teams in the West that like even if you're right there and you still miss out, it's all good if you carry that momentum from the end of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like if they play very well and just end up missing, then fine. But I think if they were to come 11th, let's say in the West, I think they underperformed as a team. I think they should be better than some, like, 6 other teams in the West. Yeah.
Yeah, it's close for me. It's close.
It's close. Yeah, it's close. You never know.
That one's
right?
a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's also tough because you brought in a like Hall of Fame almost caliber head coach as well.
Exactly.
So that also kind of plays a factor in it becoming a disappointment if they miss, even if it maybe shouldn't play as big of a factor.
Mhm.
And also the fact that the NBA is showcasing the Pelicans so much too, with the amount of national games they're getting. Yeah.
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 So they've
exactly.
they've built that little bit of hype around them that maybe they should be overachieving. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I hope they make.
Yeah,
the
that'll
playoffs,
be be interesting over Utah for sure. I would rather Utah not make it.
man. Yeah.
I like
want
Donovan,
Mitchell to get traded, man.
I know. I like Donovan, man. Spider's cool.
Yeah.
And then for final takeaway, man, obviously what we've been talking about for like 45 minutes before this, the James Harden. My takeaway is Brooklyn's going to the finals, and it's going to be a tough, like 6 or 7 game like finals. I don't know which way it's going. What do you guys think? But my takeaway is with this, Brooklyn's going to the finals.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed, Chris?
Oh,
I'm not gonna say it, but
I'm
not gonna
I want
say
to hear
it.
it, Chris. No,
I'm not saying it.
You got it.
I also still am very interested in how that dynamic's going to work between the three. I want to see how that's going to work.
Mhm.
I want prediction right now. This is my
The
prediction.
Celtics are going to the finals this year.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So just like every other year.
just like every other.
Yeah.
I'll put one.
We have this on file, just so everyone heard that.
I'll put this one caveat, Faraz. I think that is definitely true unless Giannis hits 6+ threes per game in that series against Brooklyn. That I think that's the only way. That
Actually,
30.
yeah. And I'll throw this out there though, because we don't know what's going on with Kyrie. I think regardless of whether they have Kyrie or not, they're going to the finals.
Yeah,
I think so
I
too.
think they're.
I think if they have Kyrie,
As
great.
weird as it sounds, I think they might have just as maybe a little bit of a better chance of making it to the finals without Kyrie than they would with Kyrie. I think it might
Let me ask you guys this:
just because they might.
Is there any
Go ahead.
possibility? Sorry, dude. Is there any possibility that Dinwiddie comes back this season? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Because that's huge, right? That's a big piece, man. If that they
Hell
had
yeah.
him too.
When is
There's no
Tyler
scoring.
Johnson coming back too? At least I know he's not good, but it's like at least he doesn't fuck up.
He's
too
healthy.
much.
He's
Yeah.
healthy.
Oh, is he healthy right now?
Yeah, they just don't play him, man. He's trash.
He's that bad? Nah.
They play that Wabo Cabarro guy more, man.
Luau, yeah, but different position.
Timothy.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. But also Joe Harris, right? He'll fit alongside all of those guys.
Oh.
Joe Harris will fit alongside all those guys. Even if you're like, okay, KD, you take tonight off. Kyrie, you're off tomorrow. And they just stagger everybody who gets a game off. It's like baseball pitchers or something.
Yeah, because I'll sign out, man. Let me.
How many fines do you think they'll get for just sitting people out? DNP coach's decision. KD just sits out. So like, why? Why did you decide not to play this guy? He's the best player in the league. Why are you deciding not to play him?
Who gets fined more this year? The Brooklyn Nets, or Boogie?
Yeah. Poor guy, man.
Yeah, fuck. Poor guy's right.
Boogie, I think Boogie will hit the 16 technicals a third of the season in.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's 20 games.
Yeah.
No, actually, fuck, I can't. Yeah, because we're already like 15 games in. No, I would say like 30 games in. So that's like almost halfway, I guess. A little bit under half.
That's crazy.
Guys got to be careful, man. I know he gets called on a lot of bullshit ones, but it's just like, dude, at this point, you got to know that they don't like you. Like, just stop doing that shit.
Exactly.
You got a bad image.
Yeah. And you know how the NBA works. Like, if you don't say anything, they'll get you back on the other side. Like, if it was a bad call, give it 2 possessions, they'll give your team another call on the other side.
Yeah. I feel like
but
no.
I know what it's like to be a guy like that, though. Just get in your head sometimes and just, kind of do your shit. So, poor guy.
I just hope him and John Wall don't be fucking. Yeah, I hope him and John Wall don't be having too much fun, though, man.
So that's a dirty team, man. That's actually such a dirty team. I kind of want to get a John Wall Rockets jersey now.
The baby blue. H-Town baby blue.
H-Town.
I gotta say that's probably the sweatiest jersey in the league. Like when those guys sweat, you can really see it.
Really see it.
It's like that Scott Creek middle material.
Imagine Drummond in that jersey.
Wear a hoodie underneath.
Dude, I really like the Pelicans new home jersey or whatever. The one with the French like gold things on it, like the
Christmas Day ones.
All white. Yeah. I don't know what it is. If they're city or statement, whatever it is, they're fucking dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, boys.
Good stuff.
Yeah, great time. Thanks for coming in Sesh'n. Thanks for stopping by to sesh with us. If you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell your neighbor, tell your dog. Peace.